Hey everybody, it is How To Tuesday, and we are back with the Knot Wars. The Knot Wars are where we take two knots similar in purpose and actually test them on the NextTech force tester that I have right here in my hand. The NextTech force tester is cool because it will record the highest braking strength and then it will remain on the screen so we can see it. We've done this with so many knots, and we've had a lot of people ask for certain knots to go head to head, and that's what I like because there's tons of videos on how to tie these knots. Great. Even I have a whole series of these knots that you can get. But there are very few that I've seen that will actually test them in a way that is useful to me. And the way that is useful to me is to use the exact material that you're going to use when you get out there fishing and tie the knot and then compare it to another knot that is of the same purpose. So we've done it with a whole bunch of different ones, and today we're going to go into the world of fly fishing because guess what? I am going to Alaska, and I'm getting ready to have this awesome trip in Alaska. We're going to go up there and fish for all kinds of stuff. We're going offshore. I've never done that up there. Fish for halibut and lingcod. And then we're also going to be going there for what I have gone to Alaska for in the past, which is the salmon and trout fishing, Dolly Varden, all of those cool fish that are up there. Plus, Alaska is just amazing and beautiful. So we're going to be doing some fly fishing up there. Fly fishing for trout and salmon is fantastic. And if you are a fly fisherman, you understand that there is something called a tapered leader. So if you're not a fly fisherman, this is what we're using this for. The fly line is thick. A lot of people that never fly fished before wonder how you get that thick line through those tiny little flies. And the answer is that it doesn't happen that way. You use a tapered leader. So off of the thick fly line, you use thick monofilament and you use knots to taper it down to very thin line, like I'm holding in my hand right now, just very, very thin line. When you get to this very thin line, fly fishermen like to do things a little different than everybody else, and they don't call it 6-pound test, they call it 4X. And they don't call it 8.5-pound test, they call it 3X. And all of these different spools are different X. OX is 14.9 pounds, 2X is 9.8 pounds, and it goes OX, 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X, 6X, 7X. The higher the X, the smaller pound test. So if you're fishing in a very technical spring creek, you're going to be using 7X or 8X, which is like human hair. It is so thin and tiny, and you have to get it through the eye of this hook, which means that old people have to wear glasses, or you get your fishing guide to do it. So today we're going to discuss which of these knots work better, and that is a traditional leader for fly fishing. Is a lot of times it's tied with blood knots. That's the way I like to tie it. A blood knot's a knot that we use in saltwater too. Ties two lines together. It's 4 or 5 turns on one side, 4 or 5 turns on the other side. It comes together to, it's also called a barrel knot, comes together to make a nice clean knot that can go through weeds and go through other things together or very, very easily. It can go through the guides in your rod very easily too. And a fly fishing leader will be tapered down from the fly line to the fat monofilament all the way down to the 5X, 6X, 7X with blood knots, or there's actually something called a knotless tapered leader. But when that starts to break, then you will repair it and add on tippet with a blood knot typically. However, there's a whole other school of thought with some other knots that you tie, and that is one of them being a surgeon's knot. Now, I will go on record as to say I do not like this knot. I do not like it for a lot of reasons. I don't know that if you can see this right now, but when you tie the knot, it doesn't sit smooth like this. It goes up and comes down. It also has some tag ends on it that catch vegetation that may be in the river. Okay? So I do not like this knot. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it casts. But there are certain people out there that absolutely like it, stick with it through thick and thin, and will tie it until the day they die, and they will swear that it's stronger. Okay, I've had many campfire discussions about this. Which is stronger, a blood knot or a triple surgeon's knot? Okay, we're going to find out today. Okay, I like the blood knot, and I hope that the blood knot tests better. But in the scientific world, that's not how you do it. You don't hope. You don't assume. You test. So, and I will tell you right now that even if the surgeon's knot tests better, I'm still not going to use it because I don't like what it does. Okay, so you're not always looking for the strongest knot. Sometimes you're looking for the knot that suits the purpose the best. And I'm probably going to stay with a blood knot despite what this thing says. But we're going to start with the triple surgeon's loop. And we're going to do it the way we've done all these other knots. We're going to do it with exactly the same stuff that we're going to fish with out there when we're fishing. And so today we're using Orvis Super Strong Plus nylon. This is fly fishing tippet, very popular fly fishing tippet. And we're using 3X, which is 8.5 pounds, to 4X, which is 6 pounds. Okay? So Orvis Super Strong tippet material. This is actually Super Strong Plus. I don't know what the plus is all about, but Super Strong is a material that's been out there for a long time. You also have fluorocarbon tippet material, and so I want to make sure that we're saying what we're using. So this is the Orvis 3X to 4X, so 8.5 pound to 6.5 pound. Hopefully it's going to break higher than 6. Okay, so I have a loop tied on the end of this, and I have a blood knot tied right there. Oh, let's go for the blood knot first. Okay, I thought we were going to do the other one first, but here we go. So I've got the blood knot below my hand. I've got another knot up here, and I'm just going to start pulling on the force tester here. And what is it going to be? Not very strong, I can tell you that. Not very strong. 2.67 pounds. We may have to do that one again. Okay, so 2.67 pounds for that. 8.5 to 6 pounds. That is not good. Not good at all. So maybe I didn't tie that knot properly. Okay, so now we have the triple surgeon's loop. And we're going to pull on this one. And how's it going to do? Even less, 1.5 pounds. How is that even possible? We're going to have to do this whole thing again because there's no possible way that that's how strong these are. Okay, we're going to come back. I'm going to tie these again, and we're going to test them again. So stand by. Okay, we're back. And I tied fresh lines. Okay, so I don't know what happened to the first one, but we're going to test them again. Still even have the tag ends left on this blood knot. We're going to do the blood knot again first on the force tester. See if it's any stronger. Now this is 3X to 4X. A little stronger. Okay. 4.42 pounds. So that is 8.5 to 6 pounds, and it broke at 4.42. Not really all that impressive. Okay, now, that was the blood knot. Zeroed the scale. And go with the triple surgeons. Boom, 2.52. Boom. Yes, I don't like that knot, and it's not as strong. And I knew it wasn't as strong, and I don't like the way it looks, and I don't like the way it performs. So the surgeon's knot loses out badly twice at 2.52 pounds. Now maybe I'm not tying it the right way, but I'm tying a triple surgeon's loop or knot. So I'm taking them and I'm putting it through 3 times, tightening it down, making sure I'm wetting it first, and that tested out at 2.52 pounds. So if you're trout fishing, you're using the double surgeon's, triple surgeon's loop or triple surgeon's knot, and you're breaking off a lot of fish, well, here's the reason why. because it appears that that knot stinks. Not only does it do weird things with the leader, but it also is not very strong. So the blood knot is also not very strong when it comes to this, but it's much stronger than that. 4.4 something to 2.52 pounds. That's an extra 2 pounds of drag that you could be putting on your fish. So, and by the way, 3X and 4X is heavy line for trout fishing. You get down into 5X, this is now 4.4 pounds. 6X is going to be even smaller. 8X is, I think, below 2 pound test. So basically, you're fishing with what you think is 4X, but it's going to break at almost 8X. So you really have very little chance of catching the fish. So today, the blood knot wins, but could there be a better knot? There probably is, and there's probably a better way to tie it too. But as for my test today, the blood knot is better than the triple surgeons, and that is what I'm going to tie in Alaska. Follow me on Tom_Rowland on Instagram, and you can see a lot of the stuff that we're doing up there in Alaska. It's going to be a great trip. Been to Alaska one time before, and I'm really looking forward to it. It is a beautiful place. I love freshwater fishing, and we're going to get to do some saltwater fishing up there too. So that will be super cool. I'll see you out there, and I'll try to post some stuff on the Instagram. All right, see ya.